Hello students, let us begin another important group in P block elements, that is group 17. So group 17 elements are otherwise called halogens. So halogen family includes fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and astatine. So astatine, which is a radioactive element. So there is a question which is a radioactive element present in group 17, that is astatine. Then comes to the state, fluorine and chlorine, they are gases, bromine is a liquid and iodine is a solid. Now let us see some trends. First one is electronic configuration. So when we are writing the electronic configuration of these elements, we will see the outer shell configuration will be 2s2, 2p5 for fluorine, then comes 3s2, 3p5 for chlorine, then 4s2, 4p5, 5s2, 5p5, like that. So the outer shell configuration of these elements will be like this, and we can write the general electronic configuration of group 17 will be ns2np5. So ns2np5. So when we are drawing the orbital diagram, we can see there is only one more electron. One electron is needed. It needs only one electron. It needs only one electron to attain a stable configuration or a noble gas configuration. The stable electronic configuration or the noble gas configuration, or in order to attain an octet configuration, it needs only one electron. So that is about its electronic configuration. Now let us see the atomic radii or ionic radii. You know, atomic radii and ionic radii are actually the measure of the size of the atom or ion. If you are considering an atom, it will be atomic radii. If it is an ion, it will be ionic radii. Atomic radii or ionic radii. So when we are coming down the group, in a group, what happens to the atomic radii or ionic radii? So in a group, when we are coming down, the atomic numbers are increasing. So the number of electrons will be increasing. So the number of shells will be increasing. So the number of shells will be increasing. When number of shells are increased, the atomic radii or ionic radii. If it is an atom, it will be atomic radii. If it is an ion, it will be ionic radii. So we can write the radii increases down the group. So the size will increases down the group. So in a group, the atomic numbers are increasing. So the number of shells are increasing. So the radii will be increased and the size will also increased. So that is about the atomic radii and ionic radii in a group. So if you are considering a period, so if it is a period, or if we are considering group 15, 16 and 17. So from left to right, what happens to the atomic radii? So when we are moving from left to right, we know that atomic number is increasing. Atomic number increases, but we know that number of shells remains same. Number of shells remains same. So the effective nuclear charge increases. Effective nuclear charge increases, and the nucleus has a tendency to pull the electrons towards it. Since the power of the nucleus increases but the shells remain same, so the nucleus has a tendency to pull the electrons towards it. So the size will be decreasing. So when we are moving from left to right in a period, the atomic number increases, number of shells remains same, so the effective nuclear charge increases, so the size will be decreasing. So this is about the atomic radii or ionic radii. Then the next trend is ionization enthalpy. So what is ionization enthalpy? Ionization enthalpy is the amount of energy. Ionization enthalpy is the amount of energy required to remove the most loosely bound electron. So it is the amount of energy required to remove the electron from the outermost shell. So when we considering the group, so when we are moving from top to bottom, what happens to ionization enthalpy? We know that atomic size increases down the group. Size increases down the group. So when size increases, it is very easy to remove the electron. So it is very easy to remove the electron when size increases. So ionization enthalpy decreases down the group. That means less amount of energy is needed to remove the electron. So it is very easy to remove the electron. So less amount of energy is needed. So ionization enthalpy decreases in a group. What happens in a period? So what happens in a period? So in a period we have seen atomic size decreases. Atomic size decreases, ionization enthalpy will be increases. So there is a power. So there is nucleus has the power to pull the electrons towards it. So it is the size will be decreasing. So the amount of energy required to remove this electron is more. The amount of energy needed is more, since the atomic size is more. So the electrons are more attracted towards the nucleus. So it is very difficult to remove the electron. So more energy is needed and ionization enthalpy will be more in the case of a period. Then coming to the next trend, that is electron gain enthalpy. What is electron gain enthalpy? So what is the definition of electron gain enthalpy? So electron gain enthalpy is the amount of energy released or absorbed when an electron is added. So when an electron is added to an atom, the amount of energy may be released. If it is released, it will be a negative value. If it is absorbed, it will be a positive value. So when an electron is added to an atom, when an electron is added to an atom, at that time the amount of energy released or absorbed, so that energy is known as electron gain enthalpy. So what happens, the electron gain enthalpy in a group? So in a group we know that the atomic size increases. So atomic size increases in a group. So atomic size increases, so the electron gain enthalpy decreases down the group. So when atomic size increases, when an electron is added to the atom, the nucleus doesn't have the power to hold that coming electron, since the size is very large. So since the size is large, or since the size is very big, the nucleus doesn't have the power to hold that incoming electron. So the amount of energy released will be less, since atomic size is more. So atomic size is increasing down the group, so electron gain enthalpy will be less when we are moving down the group. But in the case of a period, the atomic size decreases. So the atomic size decreases. So the electrons are tightly attracted by the nucleus. So when an electron is added, the nucleus will hold that electron. So the more amount of energy will be released. So when an electron is added to the atom, more amount of energy will be released, since the size is very small. So when we are moving from left to right, the atomic size decreases, so the electron gain enthalpy increases. Then there is an anomalous behavior with fluorine. Let's see the anomalous behavior with fluorine. So we are expecting electron gain enthalpy. The expected trend is fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. So this is the expected trend, but actually fluorine has less electron gain enthalpy than chlorine. Then comes bromine and iodine. So this is the actual trend. So this is the actual trend. This is not the trend. That means there is an anomalous behavior here. So fluorine is having, that's a question, important question. Fluorine has less electron gain enthalpy than chlorine. Fluorine has less electron gain enthalpy than chlorine. Why? So in this case, fluorine is a small atom. It's a very small atom, and the interelectronic repulsion is more in fluorine than chlorine. That is the reason. So there is interelectronic repulsion in the case of fluorine since it is a small atom. But when we are considering chlorine, it is a bigger atom. Even if there are electrons, there is not much interelectronic repulsion. But in the case of fluorine, since it is a very small atom, there is an interelectronic repulsion. So the electron gain enthalpy will be less in the case of fluorine. So that is the answer. Then comes the next point, next trend, that is electronegativity. Next point is electronegativity. Electronegativity is the tendency to attract the electron pairs towards it. Tendency to attract the electron pairs. So the tendency to attract the electron pairs towards it, that is called electronegativity. So in the case of electronegativity, if you are considering the group, in a group, what happens to the electronegativity? Actually, the electronegativity decreases down the group since the atomic size increases. Since the atomic size increases, the tendency to attract the electron pair, that is become decreasing. So electronegativity decreases down the group. You know that fluorine is the most electronegative element. Then chlorine, then bromine, and then iodine. So that is the electronegativity order. So fluorine is the most electronegative element in the among all the elements. Fluorine, then comes oxygen, then comes nitrogen. This is actually the electronegativity order of when we are considering all the elements. This is the order. But in this group, fluorine is having the more electronegative element. Then this is the order: fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. So this is the electronegativity trend in the group. But when we are considering the period, so if you are considering 15, 16 and 17, we know that atomic size decreases in a period. And we know that electronegativity increases in a period. So electronegativity increases in a period, and we know that the electronegativity of halogen is higher in the respective periods. So electronegativity increases when we are moving from left to right, and we know that halogen is having more electronegative when we are comparing other groups. So electronegativity of halogen is higher in the respective period. So electronegativity of halogen is more when we are comparing each period. But when we are comparing the electronegativity in a group, it decreases down the group. So this is about electronegativity. Then comes the next point, that is bond dissociation enthalpy. Bond dissociation enthalpy is the amount of energy required to break the bond. So the amount of energy required to break the bond, that is bond dissociation enthalpy. So in the case of fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine, or if you are considering the group, in a group, what happens to the bond dissociation enthalpy. So in the case of fluorine or chlorine, bromine, then comes iodine. We know that the size of the atom, size increases down the group, and bond length increases down the group, and the amount of energy required to break the bond will decrease, or the bond strength decreases. Actually, when bond length increases, bond strength decreases. Bond strength decreases down the group. So it is very easy to break the bonds when we are coming down the group. So bond dissociation enthalpy decreases down the group. So bond dissociation enthalpy, the amount of energy required to break the bond, will be decreasing down the group. So that is about bond dissociation enthalpy. But in this case also there is an anomalous behavior with fluorine. That is, fluorine is having less bond dissociation enthalpy. Fluorine is having less bond dissociation enthalpy than chlorine. So fluorine is having less bond dissociation enthalpy. So the reason is actually fluorine is again having interelectronic repulsion. So interelectronic repulsion. So when we are considering fluorine molecule, actually so this may be the bond, and it is very easy to break the bond. So easy to break the bond. Very easy to break the bond since there is interelectronic repulsion between these lone pairs of electrons. So interelectronic repulsion is there in this case. So it is very easy to break this bond. So that is why fluorine is having less bond dissociation enthalpy than chlorine. So another point is halogens are actually colored. Halogens, all halogen, they are colored in nature. So I have written fluorine, that is yellow, chlorine is greenish yellow, bromine reddish brown or red, iodine is violet. So they are having colors. Why they are having colors? Halogens are colored. Why? Halogens are colored. Why? So actually the electrons, the outer electrons are excited to the higher energy level by absorbing energy or radiation from the visible region. So the reason is the electrons are excited. Electrons in this halogen atom, electrons are excited to the higher energy level by absorbing radiations in visible region. So the absorption, they absorb different quanta of radiation. They absorb different quanta of radiation, and they display different colors. So since they are absorbing different quanta of radiation from visible region, so the electrons in the outer shell, will absorb energy from the visible region, and they are excited to the higher energy level. Since they are absorbing from different quanta of radiation, from the visible region, so they display different colors. That is why halogens are colored in nature. Then comes the solubility in water. What about its solubility? Actually, fluorine and chlorine, they are soluble in water. They are soluble in water. Then comes bromine and iodine. They are sparingly soluble in water. They are sparingly soluble in water but soluble in organic solvents like chloroform, CHCl3, CCl4, carbon tetrachloride, CS2, carbon disulfide, etc. So, solubility in water of halogen, that is fluorine and chlorine, they are soluble in water. Bromine and iodine, they are sparingly soluble in water, but they are soluble in organic solvents like chloroform, carbon tetrachloride, carbon disulfide, etc. So, this is about the first part of trends of some properties of group 17 elements.